Welcome back to the channel. Today we're joined by Guillermo and Danielle Salas, entrepreneurs, parents, and global citizens who made the bold decision to relocate their family from the United States to Spain. As business owners, they've navigated uncertainty, taken calculated risks, and built successful ventures. As parents, they've had to answer an even bigger question. How do you prepare your children to thrive in a rapidly changing world? In this conversation, we'll explore how entrepreneurship has shaped their parenting philosophy, what they learned from moving their family abroad, and how these experiences have impacted their children's confidence, resilience, independence, and worldview. So, whether you're raising future entrepreneurs or simply want to help your children become adaptable and successful in life, this episode is packed with insights you won't want to miss. So we're going to go ahead and just dive right on in. Guillermo and Danielle, thank you guys so much for joining us today. And I would just like you guys to start out and just tell us a little bit about yourselves before we kind of get into the interview questions.
Sounds good. Thank you, Corey, for having us.
you.
Yeah. So you want to start?
Sure. I'm Danielle Salas. I've been with this guy for quite a long time. I'm sure we'll talk about that. Right now, I am working remotely as an attorney. I'm a real estate and corporate attorney. I also run Expat Living, which is some similar, I guess, to what we're doing here today. And we'll talk about that later. I have 4 children with this guy. I don't know, I'm from Philadelphia originally, and go Philly all the time.
Yeah.
Go for it.
Absolutely.
I mean, I would just right now we're living in Madrid, Spain, and living life and just doing our thing, but remotely.
Yeah. And so I'm Guillermo Salas, with her as well. And I've known Corey since high school. Philly boy, born and raised. And
Absolutely.
I started my career professionally. I started as an attorney. Left that after 11 years and started down that entrepreneurial path, and that was a bunch of different real estate companies. Again, my partner in life as well as in business. We ran that together for many, many years. Sort of had that running on its own, and then we took this adventure, and it's morphed into right now. I'm a business advisor and coach for people who also are entrepreneurs, business owners, and salespeople. So we have had our hands in a lot of different things, and we can speak to that.
Excellent. Excellent. Thank you guys for sharing about yourselves. So the most probably curious question people are wondering, and what I'm wondering, is what sparked your move to leave the United States with your family and move to Spain?
Yeah, it's a puppet master over here.
Well, I'll start because so for me it might be a little different than what Guillermo would say, but it was a time where our business was shut down actually. So COVID kind of helped in a lot of ways. So the blessing coming out of COVID was we were able to make our business full remote. So from that and from being with our kids all the time, we realized, wow, we don't really spend that much time with them. We have 4 children, and we really want the opportunity to keep staying with them and keep this opportunity going and keep doing things together. And we'd always talked about taking a trip around the world. And while that sounds exciting, and I really would have loved to do that, I just was like, there's no way I'm going to homeschool 4 children after COVID. So what I learned about myself is no, I'm not going to homeschool the kids, but we really did want to go away and go on a trip. So we picked Spain. One, because of Guillermo's family background, but I had studied here as well. We both speak Spanish. We wanted our kids to speak Spanish, and it was a good home base to travel from here to different countries.
Yeah, and that was it. It was this 1-year adventure initially, right? It was supposed to be 1 year. We wanted to learn Spanish, have this exposure, and we had tried a couple different ways, but we're like, full immersion is the only way it's going to work. And we had been told, within 2-3 months they'll be fluent. Well, they were proficient, right?
Yeah.
And it was a challenge for sure because they understood probably very, very basic Spanish before we went to Spain.
Yeah.
So we put them in public school the first year, and it was like
Public school in Spain.
public school in Spain in a small little town where literally we knew high probability English is not being spoken, and that was the case.
Gotcha.
So we can talk about that, but there were a lot of tears and a
Oh,
lot of questioning, a lot of tears and questioning ourselves. Like, did we make the right choice? Are we good parents? All those things.
torturing our babies.
Um, but there, the flip side of that is we say this now, and hindsight's 2020. But one of the best things that we gave them was this perseverance, like this
Yeah.
idea, like, hey, like
It's not always easy.
no,
right?
and we were challenged, and we had to struggle in different ways that our kids don't have to.
Mm-hmm.
So this was a great experience for them to be challenged, to struggle, and come out the other side in a controlled environment, right? But also
Gotcha.
knowing that they can come out the other side and do things that, frankly, the majority of adults have never done, and the
Yeah.
challenge and overcome it and know, like, hey, I did this,
Yeah.
so that the next thing, like, well, if I did that, I can definitely overcome this.
Gotcha.
Yeah.
So how many years in are you guys in Spain?
5 years.
Yeah.
5 years.
That
Okay.
1 year was like, oh, you know what? 1 year wasn't enough. We, the kids, if we go back now, they'll forget everything we learned.
Yep.
Let's just do 2 years. And then we moved to a new city. We moved to Madrid
Okay.
after that first year. And
So
then after the second year was like, oh, I really like it here. Huh.
Yeah. You heard we're Philly born and raised, and we
Yeah.
love.
right, right.
Very
Well,
much.
people don't move too much. So
Yeah, and that was the thing. Madrid was like, oh my goodness, this. It brought a lot of different things that we had not experienced from our hometown, and that we really enjoyed. And we're like, well, we're gonna keep on doing this.
Right.
gotcha. So being 5 years in, how and obviously living in Spain, but how do you believe this has shaped the worldview of your kids?
God, it's changed in so many different ways. It's like, for instance, I'll use this story as an example, right? So our kids are now taking classes in a European city, learning it from a different perspective. So as they're learning all different kind of topics, but this is the year where they were learning about World War II, right? And so
Yeah.
they're learning from a different perspective. And I grew up thinking, man, we as the U.S., we were heroes. We came in and saved the day. Different perspective from a different,
Gotcha.
right?
Yeah.
Like,
Yeah.
hey, if they were learning, again, not right or wrong, just different, that we stayed out too long, and sort of just a different feeling about the U.S. involvement in that part of the world. So, and it's interesting how that perspective is just, you're given a certain way, and history that's the example, right? The victors tell the stories. That perspective is one way for me for so many years. They have a
Yeah.
completely different perspective. And
Yeah.
that's just one example of one little topic that is opened up for them so many
Well,
ways.
the other thing is our son literally just graduated high school, and the plan was to stay here in Spain, come back. He would start high school at St. Joe's Prep because he did get accepted into the prep, and that was the plan. And then, he had this whole vision, I think, and now he's graduating and he doesn't want to go back to the States. He's going to London for university. And
Awesome.
so, yeah, he didn't even really want to apply to the States, which I thought was really surprising because he was the kid who was, I'm going back.
Yeah.
I'm going back.
Yeah, he was the older one.
He came
He
about
had more
13.
roots. Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
And I asked him why did you choose London over the state, going back to the States? And I think he has a better global vision. I think maybe he'll go back for grad school, but
Yeah.
there's more to do here, in his opinion. And I think that's really interesting and really different. I didn't expect that from him.
Yeah.
So that was surprising as well.
The other piece is that we just had his graduation party, and it
Uh-huh.
was the UN. Right?
Yeah.
It really was like
Yeah.
his friends, and I felt like I experienced that only until when I went to college,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
And when I went to college, and I was like, oh, there's people from this country and that country, like literally from all over the world, and not descendants, but literally have come from that country.
Right.
Yeah.
And that perspective, different ways of being, different cultures, different teachings, different approaches to different things. It's really cool how it's opened up his mind. All of our kids, I'm sort of focusing on our oldest, but it's true across the board. They
Yeah.
all have friends from all around
Over
the
the
world. And that's a really cool thing.
No lack of
Excellent.
places to visit for vacation.
Now, both of you guys are lawyers. So people who have had really good traditional education, we'll call it, undergrad, obviously law school. What do you think your kids have learned through being abroad that they would not have learned being in the United States in terms of traditional education and or entrepreneurship as well? So I want to throw that in there also.
Yeah.
Well, I'll take this one. I think what they, as Guillermo already said, they get a more broad perspective of the global environment, right? And what's happening around the world. They're seeing the United States through a different lens, not through the I'm USA all the time. And
Yeah.
yes, we definitely are very proud and we USA it up, especially last week at the FIFA game. But we, they're seeing that there are negatives as well, and there are things that really that's not the only option. And I think that's really important for them to see that. I don't know, did I hit everything?
Yeah, no, I think the pluses, the minus. So I think there's one of the things that we're taught is to just in the U.S. I felt like my identity was really tied into what I did, right, and what I did professionally. And so what's interesting here is to have a balance of that perspective, right? I
Yeah.
do think. Yeah, so let me stick on that part. Like the identity of like, hey, our life is our work versus the other way around. We work to support our life, and I think that's a bigger balance, especially here in Europe and where we sort of landed. I think that's important, right? So that tomorrow's not promised. I've told the story many times in our podcasts on Expat Living about how, my dad and my mom had always planned to go and travel the world. My mom passed away at 52, right? I'm 51. And so at 52, they never had that
Yeah.
experience, right? Tomorrow wasn't promised for them in that case. And so they weren't able to go and journey and see the world. And so, yeah, live your life and enjoy the life. And work is one component of it. There's so many other parts that just as important, if not more important, and family, traveling, culture, spirituality, contribution, and charity. All those things sort of are part of our existence. And I think why, like Danielle says, we're proud U.S. citizens. That part gets lost sometimes because we're so focused on the business, the career path.
Yeah, the big thing, what's next?
What's next?
The turning of the wheel,
Yeah. Now that being said, I think Spain's a great lifestyle country where I think doesn't line up for what I want. It's the entrepreneur side of things. It's not in alignment with what I want out of and to see out of our kids. So, frankly, that's part of why my son's gravitated towards the UK for university. So he's going to get a mix of all of it, right? He's getting the work-life balance. I don't know if that's still a good term to use these days, but the balance piece of things, but also, hey, it's okay to want to be an entrepreneur. It's okay to want to earn and strive, but do it in a way that serves your life rather than the other way around.
So, what would you guys say entrepreneurship has taught you as parents?
Ooh, that's a really good question. Challenge, right?
Yeah.
So to challenge the status quo, to try and think about different ways to do things, to not be afraid to change and try things and fail.
That's what I was going to say.
Right?
Fail.
Yeah, and failing forward is sort of one of those other cliches, but I believe it. It's to come here and fail like that first semester for them, or first year and a half.
Oh, it wasn't just them too. It was
Oh
us
yeah,
too.
for us. I mean, oh my God,
I thought I spoke Spanish.
No, I felt like a 5-year-old again.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Yeah. So, for our journey as well, like to communicate, articulate yourself, be able to articulate the things that you want to say. All of a sudden, you're back to feeling like a kindergarten.
Yeah.
So it's like,
and also being able to adapt and pivot when you need to, because as an entrepreneur, things don't always go the right way and the way you want it to go, and so sometimes you have to tweak things and try different ways, and I think that they've learned that lesson too.
Yeah, and we've included them in our ventures, so they've had different roles in different
Yeah.
parts, social media and things of that sort.
Yeah.
Now, would you say there was a moment where entrepreneurship kind of pulled you away from family life?
Yeah, I mean, I think more in the U.S.
Okay.
Yeah, I mean, I think COVID, while has been, it was a tough time for a lot of people. It was a blessing for us. It was an eye
Hmm.
awakening. Like, hey, wake up, dummies! Right, you're missing out on your kid's life, and we were just grinding and working hard. And what I thought quality time was not quality time. Like I was
Hmm.
one of the things not work related, but I was coaching, right? So I was
Okay.
coaching like a lot of the my kids
Coaching sports,
coaching
Sport.
sports teams.
kids,
Yeah.
Sorry,
kids
yeah,
sports
kids
teams.
sports teams, and I was putting that into the bucket as quality time. But I really, in retrospect, I wasn't spending really good quality time with my child that was on the team. I was just a glorified babysitter, frankly, for 12 other kids. And it was like I sat back at the end of the scene, like I didn't really connect, spend time with that particular child. And when we moved to Spain, I stopped coaching sports teams. And I was there as a spectator. I got to spend more time with them and just enjoy it. And it wasn't like this craziness that,
Yeah.
that I was
Well,
experiencing, right?
and also, as an entrepreneur, we had to be out and about, with our clients. So there were client meetings, client events, closings, you name it. So we had a live-in nanny with us. So at
Hmm.
all times, we had somebody with us who was driving the kids to their sports, or picking them up, or feeding them dinner. And so, like, that's, not that that's a bad thing, but it was
It wasn't
not
what
what
we
I
want.
wanted
Yeah,
Gotcha.
as a
Yeah.
mother.
yeah.
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 So I wasn't getting that quality time. So like you said, and during COVID, we were like stuck at home, and we're like, wow, this is like we have all this time back. This is kind of awesome,
Yeah.
in a way.
So you guys are talking about how COVID kind of shifted things for you guys. Was
Mhm.
that an opportunity? I mean, obviously, at least especially in the US, a lot of us were confined to our homes. Was that an opportunity to connect or reconnect, quote unquote, with your kids? Did you find that as well?
Oh, for sure. I mean, I joke, but I don't joke. Like after COVID opened up, part of the move to Spain was to keep that going,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah.
Like I say, like I got addicted to my family. Yeah, that's sort of true. Like I wanted that to continue to go. We were in the moment, spending time, quality time, all the stuff that filler time that you fill up with other stuff that's just not as
Yeah.
important was forced upon you to like go away, right? It
Right.
wasn't there.
Mhm.
No more client events. No more showing houses. No more going out.
Yeah,
Yeah.
And
yeah.
a little bit of that was kind of sad, and that because we wanted to be with our friends as well. But it was it was a wake up call, I would say,
Yeah.
for sure.
What would you guys say? What experiences have helped your children to grow more than their academic achievements? What experiences did you guys, as a family? It could be some specific ones in Spain, or it could be ones in when you were in the U.S. But what do you think has helped your kids to grow outside of their academics?
Well, they've had access to go on
Oh
some
yeah,
really cool trips.
yeah.
Hmm.
Now it is tied to their school, but it was like when I went to school, like there was a trip to the public library, right? Like, I
Come on.
yeah, well, it might be a little bit more than that, but it felt like that's what it was, right? And
Yeah.
so, for instance, our oldest son got to do a mission trip to Malawi.
Wow.
And that was eye-opening. He came
Amazing,
back and he
yeah.
was like, wow, understanding how fortunate we are to have what we have and experience what we have and understand there's a whole other world out there that doesn't have that.
Yeah.
So that was really eye-opening. Our other son went to Norway on a geography trip, and
Hmm.
he was got to say, oh wow, this is another way of being,
It inspired him.
inspired him.
Yeah.
He's sort of the artist of the family.
Yeah.
We also, our second son, he does eskrima, which is like a what do
It's
medieval sword
medieval
fighting.
mixed martial arts.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
So that's like, something I've never even heard of. I
I had
didn't even
no
know it was a
idea.
thing.
Yeah.
So that's something new that he does. Most of the kids play football here, or soccer. Our daughter is
Yeah, they don't play soccer. They play football.
Football.
I can say right.
Yeah.
Our daughter does ice skating, all kind of activities that we just wouldn't think to do.
Yeah,
So,
yeah.
When you guys were talking about your son, going to Malawi, I thought back. So when my son was 9 years old, we took our first vacation kind of as a family, and we went to Ecuador. But when we were there, I remember showing him a kid who was like selling at the market, and I was like, hey, he's selling so he can eat the day.
Yeah.
Not really like, oh, let me, I'm just making some extra money on the side. I was like, he's selling so he can eat, and that really opened up my son's eyes. So I appreciate you guys sharing that about your son's trip to
Yeah,
Malawi.
and that travel. So like it's culminated to this Spain thing, but it was we were taking trips all along the way that led to this. For instance, one of them was we spent some time in Costa Rica,
yeah.
and we remember as a family this moment where, and it was a moment for me, crisis-wise in my business, where I was contemplating like, why am I doing this? Why am I expending all this energy here? And contemplating just getting out of it altogether. And I remember collectively as a family, remember this moment. We're driving and we see this woman, look like a grandmom, sitting by the side of the road in what can only be called a hut, right? A dirt floor, and she's grinning ear to ear, right? And
Yeah.
there's kids playing all around, and I'm thinking, this thing I'm struggling with, like, first world problems,
Yeah.
the thing that's supposed to be success, and she is living, like, frankly, like, I remember visiting my great grandmom in Puerto Rico. It was the same sort of thing, a dirt hut, floor, and she is happy as a clam, like, just happy. And
Yeah.
I'm like, wow, the thing that we equate to success and happiness, it ain't that necessarily, right?
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Now, many parents listening to this program, I'm sure they're focused on helping their children to succeed, right? So that's part of what I do. But what do you think parents often get wrong?
Ah, man.
I think
Yeah.
sometimes we think we know what's best for our kids and we don't listen.
Yeah.
I
Yeah.
struggle with that a lot because I'm like, you got to do this, you got to do this. This was the way, this was our path, and actually we've learned quite a bit this past year, putting our son through the applications process in the UK. It's really different, but not listening to what it is that they want to do. Like forcing one of our second son, he's not into sports at all. Yet we've had him in sports since he was 8 years old. He hates sports. Why did we do that to him? He hates
Yeah.
it. So
Yeah.
we finally listened, and unfortunately it took him to break his foot to playing basketball, where he was like, "Mom, I don't ever want to play basketball ever again."
Right.
So yes, that's one thing, I guess.
Yeah, I mean, I think that's right. And I think sort of the corollary to that is thinking the path that either we were told or that we follow ourselves has to be the thing. I mean, I had a lot of my identity tied up into academic achievement, right? Like, it had to be this, you had to get so many these types of grades, you had to get into this college led to this thing led to the job that you want. Entrepreneurship has sort of taught me that that's not the case. Like some of
Yeah.
the top, like whatever success means financially, didn't follow that path whatsoever, right?
Yeah.
And so I thought I was going to be the dad who was like pushing on the grades because that was the path that I followed and led to sort of success for me. That hasn't been the case. Like I
Yeah.
sort of backed off. I'm like, all right, I want you to get grades, but I
Right.
want it because I want you to excel and try to excel, and not necessarily the result, but like give your hardest. If your hardest is a C or a B plus whatever, that's cool.
Yep.
But if you're not living up to your potential, then that's where I have an issue,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, there's definitely it's a line there, right? So you have to be
Yeah.
like, hey, I want you to do your best. It's not all about, oh, I got an A. Well, sometimes you can get an A and not really do much work, and
Yep,
you
Yeah.
don't
yep,
really
yep.
learn from the situation. So
Yeah.
I guess I'll kind of end with this question. If you guys could give parents one piece of advice about preparing their kids for really an unpredictable and changing world, what would it be?
Yeah, I would travel. right? I think we owe it to our kids to try and raise global citizens, to have such a narrow view of like, hey, this town, this city, this country, um, things are changing so much technology wise. It's breaking down barriers and I mean geography barriers as well as other barriers so much at a rapid pace than prior years. Like we owe it to them to like open their eyes and see how other people approach life and take the best and incorporate it into your life.
I'm going to add something different because you mentioned technology, and we're really tough on our kids with technology. We limit a lot of that in our house. Um, so I think, and we'll go out to dinner with friends, and their kids are with us, and their kids are on their devices during dinner, and we're really strict about that. Like no devices at dinner, no devices when we're out with family, no devices when we're out with friends. And I think it's important because obviously they need technology, and that's going to be part of their future, but it can't be all technology all the time.
Yeah.
You
Yeah.
got to have some really strict um, guidelines around it.
Yeah, I mean, one of the biggest things that we love about here is family, and there's this concept when we go to dinner, it's called sobremesa, right?
Yeah.
So dinner is not like eat it and run. It's like sit down for 2, 3, maybe 4 hours, right?
Yeah.
And you're enjoying each other's company, and it's the research has shown like that's part of why countries like Spain have a longer life because they're eating, they're sharing, they're family oriented, they're enjoying that part of things, and so it's hard to be family oriented when you're sitting there looking at your device.
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. No, it definitely makes a big
By
difference.
example too, because we have to put the device down. So if we don't put the device down, we can't expect them to put the device down. So sometimes you just got to put it away.
Yeah.
Well, Guillermo and Danielle, thank you guys so much for joining the show today. I appreciate your time. I appreciate the insight that you guys provided with us today. And I'm sure whenever people are reviewing this podcast episode, they will get a lot out of the episode as well. Thank you so much again.
Thanks
Thank
for
you.
having us.
Yep. And as I always say, parenting is a journey. Explore your growth.